Okay, there goes the speakers. Today's February 26, 2014. My name is Deb Holman, and I'm interviewing Alice Vermillion about the historic jail. So Alice, we've been sitting here talking about 10 minutes already, but just tell me when and where you were born, and then tell me about your connection to the jail.
Okay. Thank you. I was born July 12th, 1947 here in Newark, and went to all the Newark schools, and we went to the way we were connected with the jail. When I was in the 4th grade, Wally McElroy was the sheriff then. My stepdad, Tony Verasso, was the deputy, and Mom was asked if we would move in there and her cook for the prisoners. And there was another lady, I don't know if they switched off and on monthly or weekly, I really don't remember that, but her name was Marie Thompson, and she lived up on the 4th floor where they kept the women. And so, of course, moving into the jail, the first night was, I was kind of scared, you know, and was supposed to be taking a bath, but kind of just swishing the wash rag around in the tub because I didn't want to get in. And that's really the only time I remember being afraid, was that first night. And, you know, Mom talked to me, and, you know, and Mom wasn't a real soft talker. Instead of talking to me, she says, well, you will take a bath, and, you know. So anyway, as the time went on, we just really did our normal things. I mean, I was in the 4th grade. My sister was in the 6th grade. My brother Larry was 5 years younger than me, and I had said that Philip was born while we were in the jail. And so when we left the jail, he was 5 years old, so he really doesn't remember a whole lot. But I used to help Mom, you know, they ate off of the nice big, steel or whatever.
Trays,
yeah, the trays.
Yeah.
Right, and they ate good. I mean, I remember being overwhelmed because the cottage cheese things was in huge tubs, and cereal boxes were huge boxes, and you know, and we'd put them on, and then they'd come and get a cart. They used to have trustees that were pretty much allowed to roam around and take care of things, help out in the kitchen, and take the dinners. And I remember there was a big steel door between what you would call our house and the kitchen. And then there was another steel door that went into where the prisoners were, some upstairs, and the office. At that point, it isn't where they have it now. When I went on the tour, a lot has changed. The office was in there, and the downstairs, what Mom always called down in the hole, I guess, where supposedly the drunks and
Drunk tank
would go down. Yeah, well, I used to stand and listen, because on Sunday nights they'd have singers in there, you know, gospel singers and everything, you know, and that was interesting to hear that. And then I used to play the cello and kind of mess around on the piano. Well, Mom wasn't going to have that except for down in the hole. So I'd go down in the hole and play the cello, and I'm sure they probably wished they weren't ever drunk again, or it sobered them up real fast. And the pianos were down there, and I remember some of the trustees that were, like I said, they weren't in there for real hard, and they pitch pennies with me, because, you know, downtown you had Grant's, you had Michael's Music, you had, you know, Kresge's and all that stuff. So they'd pitch pennies with me, and they were, you know, very nice, and help with the dishes and all that stuff. I wasn't afraid of them. And of course we were never alone, you know, with any of them. And as far as, you know, we had a swing set outside, right there, you know, to the left, like when you would walk out of the jail, to the left, right across from Big Bear. And used to roller skate, used to hula hoop all around the place, you know, and I love to sing, and I'd sing with them.
Yeah.
I'd walk up and down because there was between the Big Bear parking lot and there at the jail, there was a big cement thing, you know, and I'd walk on that and I'd sing with them. And
It sounds like most of your memories are pretty good.
oh, they are.
Yeah.
They are good memories. I mean, I used to have, you know, kids come and spend the night, and, you know, it was a big thing to them, like, you know, where'd you spend New Year's Eve? Oh, gosh, you know, we stayed overnight at Alice's at the jail.
Yeah.
And walking, when I was in the 4th grade, I was at Hartzler. So I'd walk under the subway, which you didn't think a thing of it back then, you know, walk. And my sister also went to Central in the 6th. Then we ended up at Central. And I remember walking to Central, not even being able to see the courthouse because it was so foggy, and, you know, and we'd walk through the arcade. Coming home, you know, Goomis's was in there, and, you know, the candy stores, and it was just beautiful. The rooms, I mean, back then the wood, like the staircase was wooden. Now they have it painted white. And I know when I went in, not that the white isn't pretty, but it was beautiful, the wood. And Christmas trees, you know, we used to have that were so tall. And with my brother just being born, I remember his eyes getting huge. And my brother Larry and I, who was 5 years younger than me, I mean, you know, you had to find some type of entertainment. Well, we used to roll up socks and play basketball and try to catch the socks on the ledge. And, you know, for entertainment.
Right.
And it was just, I wasn't ever afraid. I think just one time there was one of the trustees had escaped, and they had us make sure everything was all locked up. But it wasn't anything, you know, that no guns firing or anything like that. And that's the only time I remember. And it seemed like then people used to, I think, maybe want to get in out of the cold, or for, you know, a holiday, the meal, and I think they used to arrest people for smaller things back then, and so, but my stepdad was, like I said, and back then when politics changed, they had to be the same party.
Right.
So when Wally Cox was voted out by shoot, I think I remember his name, because that was the first time I ever voted, and Mom, of course, made me go to the voting booth, and that's when we moved. But
so when the sheriff changed,
right,
that's when
Wally, it was Koontz.
Koontz. Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, but on the weekends, my brother and I, you know, we'd play games out on the porch. You know, take the card table out, bring the Scrabble game, bring everything. I mean, so it was, to us after a while, it wasn't like really living in the jail. It was just every day, you know. And my eyes got so huge. I remember seeing the big cottage cheese cartons and things, you know, and I'd help Mom and stuff. And so, and
so you were there for how many years altogether? 5 years.
4th grade to the 9th grade.
Okay.
So
by the time you left 9th grade, you would have been 15, 14?
Probably. I don't know. Good Lord, I'm 66 now, so I really don't know.
Yeah.
But I wasn't driving when we
Okay.
lived at the jail. I know that. And because then I went to, back then I would have graduated from Central going into the 9th grade, but we moved, and I went to Lincoln for my 9th grade year, and wasn't real happy about that because I'd been with the Central people, but that made friends that are very dear to this day, you know. And so they were good years.
Yeah.
You know.
Do you remember many of the deputies?
Oh yeah, they tease us, you know.
Were they fun?
I remember, very fun. Dick Love and Harry Albrecht, I believe was his name, and Kenny Payne, and of course we got to be friends with some of their siblings too,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And I remember the year of the flood, when National Drive flooded, and they had us leave, and I think we went to stay with Kenny Payne's family,
Mm-hmm.
I believe. And his kids are still, still around. And there was one black man, Mitch was his name. Oh, he was so funny. Mitch, I can't remember his last name. I want to say Mitch Miller, but I don't know if I want to say that because there was a Mitch Miller, but very, very, very nice. And my mother was, she was a teaser and could be teased. And Buzzy Love and his wife, Sammy, and I know there's others that I'm just not. And Dad was in the posse.
Oh, okay.
They had a posse back then. And he rode King, his Palomino. And through the parades they'd have downtown. So that was exciting.
That is exciting.
Yeah. And of course we were real close when they had the parades around the square to walk down, and we'd walk to the movies. Back then there wasn't any fear of walking somewhere, even at the age we were. And I used to go to Grant's and every place. Downtown, Saturday downtown was just an adventure. So, but then when people would come and spend the night, they'd really. And my brother, when we went on the tour, my brother Philip is 10 years younger than me. He's the one that was born when we lived at the jail. And I pointed out to him where I rocked him every night because he was such a crier. Of course, I loved rocking him. And I pointed out to him, this is where I sat with you, And we had toy rooms that were bigger than bedrooms I have now. And where my sister and I, the bedroom we shared, the light would blink from Big Bear, blue and red, and but when I take people by now, and I said, that's where, it's beautiful. I mean, it's just beautiful, and so much history in there, more than I can share because I was looking at it through the eyes of a child. And I'm sure there's other people who, of course, have a lot of the historical memories of, really some bad prisoners that were kept at the jail. That I got in trouble one time because someone I knew was in there, and I wanted to show him my doll baby I got for Christmas. That was the wrong thing to do, but they were behind cages and kind of in a circular thing, and I just sat down there and I was just showing them my doll baby.
Yeah. Who'd you get in trouble from?
My stepdad. Yeah, got the those police belts hurt too. Just even a little smack.
Yeah.
But it was a very I'll never forget it.
I'm sure.
I'll never forget it. I used to have a little blue bike that I'd take down to the south end because a lot of our Anarino and de Blasio's was, my relative.
Yeah.
My maiden name was Anarino. My mom was a de Blasio. My stepdad was a Verasso. I said, you don't mess with anyone whose last name ends in a vowel,
That's right.
So, but is there anything else that I'm not touching on?
Did we say in the beginning what years this was? I can't remember if we said.
It would have been when I was in the 4th grade. Like I said, when I started school, we didn't have kindergarten, so I was probably 6 years old when I started school in the 1st grade, and I was born in 1947. So
this would have been like 53 to
yeah,
59 maybe?
probably
Okay.
that time period.
Close enough.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Alice, is there anything else that you didn't get a chance to talk about, or anything else that you wanted to add, or is that...
No, we'd play on the swings. We had a pretty, with living in the jail, you wouldn't think it was normal, but
Pretty normal.
pretty much it
childhood.
was, yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Okay, well, I won't keep you any longer. Thanks for coming in, and
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
we'll end the interview right now.